The problems will not resolve, sorry. The problems will dissolve. Okay, so how do you do this? How do you bond? It sounds pretty, right? You bond, you become one, you get super glued together, great. But how, literally, do you do this? So I'm going to give you 4 points, 4 practical ways to bond, and the acronym is BOND, B-O-N-D. So when you come out of here, you can repeat this to anybody who didn't come for whatever reason. We'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Okay, so BOND, B. How do you do this? B, ask yourself the following question. Build or destroy? And it really is that stark. What do I mean by build or destroy? There's an amazing book, it's called Choice Theory. It's written by Dr. William Glasser. I first encountered this book in my adventures in parenting teenagers. Thank God we have 5 teenagers right now. I'm counting 21 and 12 as teenagers. Is that kosher? So we have 5 teenagers. So I encountered this book in parenting teenagers, and he describes this thing called choice theory. And the idea of choice theory is that you really only have, it's very simple, but the way he lays it out in the book is great. You really only have one choice to make in a relationship, and that is, how are you going to behave? How are you going to behave? That's the only choice you have in a relationship. So, the way it's laid out in the book, before you interact with whomever, whether it's your child or your spouse, you want to ask yourself, is what I'm about to say or do going to draw us closer or push us further apart? Okay, again, is what I'm about to say or do going to draw us closer or push us further apart? Am I going to build or am I going to destroy? And I think the mistake a lot of people make in a marriage is they underestimate the power of destruction. People do not turn around and look at each other and say, let's get divorced when everything was great yesterday. It's a gradual, most of the time, it's a gradual, slow erosion. It's a little chink here and a little chink there and a little disrespect here and a little distance here, and it grows and it builds, and there becomes a wall, and then the wall gets bigger and the wall gets scarier and the wall becomes more insurmountable, and before you know it, you have a huge, huge gap, and nobody knows what to do with that gap. It starts so small. And before a person says something, it can be a little bit of a nasty comment. It can be a little bit of making fun of your spouse in front of other people. It can be a little bit of laughing at their indiscretion. It can be a little bit of mocking them behind their back. All those little things add up. And if you would ask yourself, before you said that, is what I'm about to say or do going to draw us closer or bring us further apart? You would know the answer. Because this is not rocket science. It's just that people don't understand that this is literally building or destroying. It literally is. A good marriage is made, it's generally not this big cataclysmic event. It's small, positive comments. Yes, you're so right, honey. I love when you say stuff like that. Isn't he awesome? Look what he did. Look what she made. I think you're so handsome. You were so cool yesterday. Little comments like that build and build and build and connect and connect and connect, and that's what builds a huge, beautiful edifice. So the other thing that you need to understand about building is that we build with our own 2 hands. If you don't like what you're building, build something different. You know, people use language of failing marriages in a very passive way. Did you ever hear people say, like, the marriage fell apart, we grew distant, we fell out of love? Like as though there's some external force at play. I am a hapless victim. I do not have control over the trajectory of this relationship. I think that is very dangerous. And I think that language has to be called out when it shows itself. Most of the time, a failing relationship is somebody's fault. Now, I'm going to say that sometimes marriages cannot be fixed or saved. There are some people that are not emotionally healthy. I'm not here to tell you that every marriage should be fixed or saved. In fact, sometimes you hear people say, oh, congratulations, they're married for 50 years. people are married for 50 years and they hate each other. Some people are married for 50 years and they're miserable. Some people should have left the marriage after 20 years and they didn't. Right? The point is not to be married. The point is to become one. The point is to bond. And not everybody is a bonding partner. But if we're talking about building and destroying, what we have to understand is that that language of passivity has to be stricken from the conversation. Because it's not passive. A person is building and destroying with their own two hands. A decision was made somewhere along the line to prioritize something else over the marriage. And that decision, made over and over and over again, over a long period of time, will create destruction. And the opposite, the decision that it is mine to build, I am the one who has the power to do this, and every positive word, and every positive action, and every compliment, and every little surprise muffin, and every little surprise flowers. I'm giving you guys good ideas to take home here, okay? And wearing the outfit that he likes instead of the outfit that your girlfriend likes, and coming home at 5:30 instead of 5:45 because you said you would. Those are acts of building. So that's B for bond. Build or destroy, because it's in your hands. Okay, so that's B, build or destroy. O, overcome efficiency. Overcome, this is so hard. Overcome efficiency. How many people in this room consider themselves efficient people? Raise your hand. Okay, good. So I'm mostly talking to you guys, but the rest of you can eavesdrop. See, a lot of times, what building and destroying relationships comes down to is intimacy versus efficiency. Okay? Some of you are getting guilty looks on your face. But this is my test too, so I understand.